Nice to see you again. Please enjoy today's video.
India's lunar probes have uncovered contradictory traces.
Chandrayaan-2 in 2019. Then, the lunar exploration conducted by Chandrayaan-3 in 2023 brought even more intriguing discoveries. What India's probe found near the moon's South Pole was not just evidence of water. Images captured by high-resolution cameras revealed what appeared to be inexplicable artificial structures. Initially, the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, explained these as natural rock formations. However, after detailed analysis by image experts, it was revealed that these structures clearly exhibited geometric patterns. Of particular interest were multiple, metallic-looking objects arranged in straight lines. Such orderly arrangements are extremely rare in the moon's natural environment. Even more fascinating were the images taken by Chandrayaan-3 around the planned Apollo landing site. Analysis of these images revealed a subtle discrepancy between NASA's published landing coordinates and the actual terrain. India's research team requested international verification of this finding, but has yet to receive a detailed response from NASA. The most shocking discovery was the electromagnetic anomaly detected by Chandrayaan-3's lander on the lunar surface. The moon is supposed to be electromagnetically silent, yet the probe detected regularly emitted electromagnetic signals. The source of these signals remains unidentified, but they possess characteristics that cannot be explained by natural phenomena. The signal patterns clearly exhibited artificial features. India has withheld detailed announcements, citing the need for further investigation. But this discovery may open a new chapter in lunar exploration history. Data collected by Japan's lunar probe, Kaguya, between 2007 and 2009, is considered one of the most objective pieces of evidence regarding the Apollo missions. High-resolution lunar images released by JAXA did show traces at the site, believed to be Apollo 11's landing location. However, further analysis led to a series of unexpected findings. First, the crater supposedly created by the lander's engine blast was found to be significantly smaller than expected. The Apollo lander's descent engine should have left a clear mark on the lunar surface, but the crater visible in Kaguya's images differed greatly in size and shape from theoretical predictions. Another intriguing finding came from analysis of the tracks believed to be left by the lunar rover. According to detailed terrain data captured by Kaguya's stereoscopic camera, the depth and shape of these tracks did not match values expected under the moon's low gravity. JAXA's research team carefully examined this discrepancy. They concluded that the lunar soil's properties might differ from previous understanding. The most notable discovery was Kaguya's thermal distribution. Data of the lunar surface, detailed analysis of temperature patterns around the Apollo landing site revealed anomalies distinct from other lunar regions. These thermal anomalies suggest the possibility of underground structures. There may be heat sources deep beneath the surface that cannot be explained by natural lunar conditions. JAXA has withheld detailed announcements, citing the need for further research. However, internally, there are growing calls for a re-investigation of the Apollo landing site. These latest data raise fundamental questions about what we think we know about the Apollo missions. The truth may be far more complex and mysterious than imagined. Modern space technology has advanced far beyond that of the 1960s. Artificial intelligence, GPS, high-performance computers, and new materials. Despite these innovations, lunar landing remains one of humanity's greatest challenges. Consider the complexity of landing control systems. With no atmosphere on the moon, aerodynamic braking is impossible. Everything must be controlled solely by propulsion, requiring extremely advanced technology. NASA's Orion spacecraft planned for use in the Artemis program, utilizes cutting-edge computer systems, yet its development has taken over 15 years and cost billions of dollars. In contrast, the Apollo lunar module was developed in just 8 years. Computers at the time had processing power comparable to today's calculators. Memory capacity was 4 kilobytes, millions of times less than modern smartphones. How can this technological gap be explained? Even modern unmanned probes frequently fail to land successfully. In 2019, Israel's lunar probe, Bereshit, crashed just before landing. In 2023, Japan's Omotenashi also failed to land on the moon. These were unmanned vehicles equipped with the latest technology. Yet 50 years ago, manned landings and takeoffs were successfully completed 6 times. Lunar liftoff is also technically extremely difficult. Unlike Earth, there is no control tower support, and everything must be done autonomously. Fuel calculations, trajectory corrections, and docking. Maneuvers must all be flawless for astronauts to return safely. Modern engineers acknowledge that lunar liftoff is one of the most difficult challenges in aerospace engineering. Achieving this with 1960s technology is considered an anomaly in the history of technology. SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, is a pioneer in modern space development. Reusable rockets, regular transport to the International Space Station, and satellite internet networks. They have over many conventions in space development, yet even SpaceX remains cautious about lunar landing. The Starship HLS lunar lander, under development, adopts a completely different approach from traditional lunar modules. A massive body, powerful engines, and multiple safety systems. It seems to aim for a level of safety that would have been impossible with 1960s technology. Musk himself has stated that lunar landing is more difficult than landing on Mars. Mars has a thin atmosphere that allows parachute deceleration. But on the moon, propulsion is the only option. According to SpaceX's technical team, the moon's temperature ranges from 170 C to 120 C, posing serious challenges to equipment. Interestingly, SpaceX conducts repeated lunar landing tests on Earth. Using advanced simulation technology, VR environments, and AI-assisted systems, they prepare for every possible scenario. Why does SpaceX, with such a cautious approach, struggle so much? In the 1960s, such advanced test environments did not exist. Yet the Apollo program reportedly succeeded without a single lunar test landing. Furthermore, SpaceX has created detailed manuals for handling lunar emergencies. Engine failure, communication loss, fuel leaks, every contingency is addressed. But the Apollo program left almost no detailed records of emergency procedures. It's as if the missions were executed flawlessly without any trouble. NASA officially acknowledges the issue of lost technology, one of the most puzzling aspects of Apollo skepticism. Why was the technology behind humanity's greatest achievement completely lost? NASA's official explanation is as follows. Companies involved in Saturn IV rocket production went out of business or shifted focus, and many engineers retired, preventing knowledge transfer. Detailed blueprints and manufacturing procedures were scattered and lost. But this explanation raises many questions. It's hard to believe that such critical technology wasn't systematically backed up. Military-grade technology management should have been in place. Original blueprints, copies, microfilm, everything should have been preserved. In fact, over 400,000 people were involved in the Apollo program. Losing the technology of such a massive project within a few decades is highly unusual in technological history. For comparison, blueprints of WWE era, P-51 fighters and 1950s, F-104 jets are still preserved in detail. Even military technology is stored at this level. so losing the technology of humanity's greatest achievement seems unnatural. Even more curious is the selective nature of the lost technology. Apollo's command module technology is used in today's Orion spacecraft. Spacesuit technology has also been passed down, yet only the most critical technologies, Saturn V rockets and lunar modules, are said to be lost. This selective disappearance seems too convenient to be a coincidence. Most notably, compare this with Soviet space technology. The Soviet lunar rocket N1 failed all 4 launches. Yet, its detailed technical documents are still preserved in Russia and accessible to researchers. Failed project records remain, while successful ones are lost. How can this contradiction be explained? Perhaps the technology wasn't lost, but hidden.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, giving it a thumbs up, and leaving a comment.